All right. Thanks everyone for attending this series of the MTBC updates. We will try to do monthly updates. I apologize about last month. MTBC was pretty much swamped in developing and building a lot of IT solutions in last month. Mainly, we were focused more on meaningful use stage 2. For those of you who are concerned about MTBC's technologies being certified for meaningful use stage 2, we believe we're going to be ready by December 7th. That's when we are getting certified or getting tested for meaningful use stage 2. So we will be up and running by the end of this year and hope to be fully certified by the start of next year. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Praveen Kanda. I am the Vice President of Intellectual Property and Innovation for MTBC. So in addition to helping MTBC file patents and trademarks on their software and services, I also work with the IT development team as well as the website development team to design IT solutions and also simplify your workflow in using our products and services. This is the month of November 2013. And I will just cover a few recent changes added to MTBC's WebEHR and also give you a few updates on currently what our project goals are for this month as well. As you guys know, a lot of providers on MTBC are currently in the middle of transitioning between the desktop or cloud to MTBC's WebEHR. This is our new product that will let you see your EHR on the web, and you can use this new product at any location. Currently, a lot of, I would say around 50% of our providers are already on the WebEHR or are in process of transitioning. We expect that to be around 70 to 80% by the end of this year, all using the web, with a big push next year to convince providers to start using the web and to slowly let go of the older product. Now, I've also been in charge of talking to clients and hearing their feedback. So towards the end of the webinar, you can also have my contact details, and I'm always willing to receive emails from providers regarding suggestions, and I will call them and usually follow up on that. For those of you who are already working with a member from Client Relationship Manager, please continue working with your Client Relationship Manager, and he will continue to provide those updates to our IT team, and anything that needs my supervision, I will definitely follow up on if you feel that is necessary. Let us continue and start talking about a few of the new changes on the WebEHR. The first thing that everyone probably noticed as they were logging in today morning or for the last couple weeks is that we released a new practice management welcome page. We've also asked for your reviews, and welcomingly, we've received at least 50% of our users actually like the new design of the web or the PM portion of your welcome screen. For those of you who haven't logged in, I can show you a quick overview of it. As you can see, all the widgets remain the same, but just the overall look looks a little more modern and a little more bigger for vendors that always complained about the size and the font. We've just lifted it to that size. Now, we still have some vendors who like the font size a little smaller. As of right now, I do not believe we're working on customizing the font size within the web page. However, we will be looking in the future to see if more providers complain for that same request, and we will think of developing 3 font sizes: small, medium, large, and probably giving customization in that respect as well. In addition to updating the welcome page, as you see here, we also changed something called provider and arrived color settings. Now, as everyone knows, when they go to the scheduler, by clicking on the scheduler and clicking on appointments, they can see the scheduler for the practice. Now, let me just log on to my testing site. Now, when you go to your scheduler, as you can see, you have 2 options to mark the patient and provider. As you can see, when you change a provider color now, you can see the provider color here. Another thing we also enable you to do is when the patient is marked as arrived, we default it to pink. However, you can also change the arrived color as well. So let me show you how this feature exactly works. and how you can customize this feature. To customize the color settings for either the provider or the arrive, what you can do is you can click on Settings here, then click on Scheduler Settings at the end. As you can see on the right-hand side, you can customize the color as well as the arrive color for the patient. Once you customize this, make sure you click on Save just to make sure the saves are changed, and then go back to the scheduler, and you will see how the arrive time changes as well as the color. Now, we're also talking about improving the workflow of our scheduler to add a lot of other functionalities, such as denoting a room view for providers to actually place patients in certain rooms and setting up your configuration that way. Right now, we're in the middle of a lot of discussions to how to streamline the scheduler. Even though it is user-friendly, I feel like there's a few more changes that can really take it over the top. And right now, my team and I are discussing those changes, and hopefully we can get that implemented towards the end of the year to the start of next year, and then we will convey these changes to you via these webinars. The next change I would like to talk to you about is the ShoreScripts 10.6 certified. Although this change really can't be seen on your end, we've been spending the last couple months designing this change. This is basically a ShoreScripts requirement to be certified to their latest software requirements from our backend. So we've been certified by ShoreScripts recently as a provider that is 10.6 certified, a recent update in their code that they released, and we've been officially certified in that release, so we can send your e-prescribing through our third-party vendor, ShoreScripts, to send your e-prescribing going smoothly. Another change that you guys should be concerned about is the recall letter creator. Now, this was designed with one provider in view, and hopefully we can expand the role of how this is getting created. Now, as you guys know, you can set recalls for your patients by going to the patient's demographics and then clicking on recall. As you can see here, this patient has 2 recalls, one on 10/6, and you can actually customize this recall by clicking on Add, and that will let you add a recall reason. And you can select the provider, select the amount of days. Let's say it's for 7 days from today. It'll automatically adjust the time to show you that time, and you can even put in the reason for the recall. And then you can even select the visit reason and click Save, and that will select provider, location, and then click Save, and you can select a recall reason for this patient. Now, when you select a recall reason, this is typically used by the front office staff. If they want to make these calls by themselves, then they can see a recall list and make those calls by themselves. As of right now, we haven't integrated this with our automated call. However, we are in talks of integrating this with our automated calls. But since our automated calls make these calls 2 days before the date of the appointment anyway, we'll only do it once we test it on the providers and enable that feature as well. Now, once you create this recall, in here you would like to create a report. Now, this report is created by clicking on Reporting and clicking on Recall Report. In this report, obviously, you can pull the recall for the patient and print out a list and have your front office schedule. However, we also had a request where the front office would like to print a recall letter. So how would you do this? For this case, in order to print a recall letter, you have to go to your EHR settings. Once you are in your EHR settings, you can check your recall list by clicking on, give me a second here, patient letter, which is seen under demographics here. Once you click on your patient letters, you can see a list of letters here where you can create a letter, and you can also pull in items. So let's assume that I will create a letter like medication. I could say, this is a medication letter. Then I can actually pull in details and populate my note, as you can see below. This is a test. Obviously, we will be adding a lot more features to this. As of right now, we haven't added a medication list. However, we are eventually going to integrate this portion with the provider's chart, and they can pull in chart relevant information as well into this note and start generating their letters through this system as well. Now, once you have finished, you would click Save here. Save successfully. Now, as of right now, we only have this letter available for recall lists. However, in the future, we'll be interfacing this with our scheduler, so you can print these letters from our scheduler. So once I do that, there you can see is a bunch of providers. I can select who I'd like to print the recall letter for, click print, and select what type of recall letter I would like to print, and print that recall letter. So hopefully this view will work really well hand in hand once we start interfacing it with other recall letters. Obviously it's a test, however you would generate your letter this way and print a recall letter to send out to your patients. In the future, when we interface with the demographics, insurance information, we will be adding a lot more features to this. Right now we were just in talks on how to implement it, and I've talked to the team about adding providers, medications, active plan of care. So now the provider can really customize his own note and make it show up on the EHR. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is the sign and next in unsigned charts. Now, one of the biggest complaints I've received from providers is there's no quick way to quickly go from chart to sign the chart, to edit chart, and then go to the next chart. This is one of the things we recently implemented on the WebEHR that hasn't been used yet, so because not many providers know about it, but the new thing we've implemented is a unsigned charts section. Now, to go to your unsigned charts, as many people know, you have to go to your dashboard, which you can access either by clicking on dashboard here if you're already within the WebEHR, or clicking on the WebEHR icon at the top right-hand portion, which will take you similarly to the dashboard. Now, once you're on this dashboard, you have a list of your unsigned charts here. When you click on unsigned charts, you can see a list of your charts here, and in these unsigned charts, you can actually access the chart simply by clicking on that chart. Once you click on this chart, you will automatically take into the print view. Now, once you're in the print view, there's a few options we've added here. As you can see here you got your next chart, and here you have your edit chart. If you go to next chart, you'll actually not sign the chart, so you would prefer to sign the chart first and go to your next chart. But let's say you go OK, you would go immediately to the next unsigned chart in your list. Let's say you would like to sign this, you would simply click sign. It will sign the chart. Once the chart's signed, you can simply click on next and go to the next chart. Let's say you would like to edit a chart. For instance, you would add an allergy that you noticed that's not in this chart. You click on edit allergy. Once you click on edit allergy, I would go to the allergy section. All right. Add your allergy, as you can see here. Click on OK. Then sign the chart. Close out of this. You will sign your chart and then go on to your next chart that way. So using these methods, I hope providers can streamline their process of signing charts and going through their charts quickly. This process will probably help even more once you use our scribe feature, which will let you dictate right into the chart. So if you're dictating right into the chart, the provider can actually go into this section, see the chart, sign the chart, and go to next charts as he sees the transcription in here as well. All right. Going on to the next change. Our next change is lab module updates. We've been working with a provider on improving the lab module functionality. A few of the things that we've improved on is, first off, we've improved on how your labs show up with the lab module. Now, rather than initially how we showed up based on just alphabetical, now this will also show up on most recent data visit as well. So we're currently working on that. Another thing is, as you notice, any tests that are out of the norm will show up in red, as you can see here. In addition, let's say you would like to view the cumulative trend report. We've really improved the cumulative trend report, which can show you the date of the lab, what type of lab result was collected, and if it was below the norm, it would actually show up in red, as you can see here. Now, obviously, this is a test file, so you don't really see this. For those of you who would like to interface labs with our system, please let us know. We will interface labs, of course, to no charge unless the lab will charge, and typically the labs don't charge to interface your system. So if you're interested in a lab interface with MTBC, please call our tech support line, which I will let you know about later on throughout this webinar, at the end of the webinar. Also, we've done some speed improvements and some organization improvement to the labs. As I told you earlier, currently we are spending a lot of time designing and working with a certification team to get MTBC's WebEHR certified in meaningful use. For those of you who are using the older desktop or cloud-based system, please know, as we have notified you 5 months ago, that we are switching the WebEHR to be our only meaningful use Stage 2 certified system. This means for anyone using the old system, they will not be able to be certified for meaningful use Stage 2 unless they switch to the webinar. The good news on this is you have a lot of time to switch. October 2014 is the deadline for meeting meaningful use Stage 2 or starting reporting on meaningful use Stage 2. Thanks to an extension from the government, we have until October 2014, and it's not a year for those of you who are concerned. However, it does depend on the stage that you are at for meaningful use, so please contact our meaningful use team to get more details on that, or contact tech support and they will have the meaningful use team to contact you appropriately. Now let me talk to you about a few changes in the future that we plan on releasing for the WebEHR. Our first change will be the multiple provider view. We are in testing stage for this, so you should probably see this in the next 3 weeks. Our multiple provider view will let you view multiple providers with individual set times in one screen. I know currently for the front office staff have to switch between one provider and another provider. This multiple provider view will let you view all providers in one website, so that way you can add appointments through that and also view your scheduler through that system. Another change that we're adding is the adding address to add appointment window. This will just add the address to the add appointment window when you click on add an appointment and that pop-up shows up. This is really not a big change, but I just wanted to mention it here for the providers that were requesting it. Obviously, as I mentioned before, we're adding a multitude of meaningful use Stage 2 features and ICD-10 features. In the next webinar that I'll do, I will show you our new implementation of ICD-10. Hopefully this is streamlined and it's a little more user-friendly for providers that are using ICD-9. We also have done linking from ICD-10 to ICD-9, where if you select an ICD-9 code, it will show you the relevant ICD-10 codes. We're still designing the rheumatology, orthopedics, and pediatrics module. Although we're in deciding stage, all these 3 projects actually have gotten delayed due to the fact of meaningful use Stage 2 and ICD-10 becoming live at the start of the year, or the requirement of it trying to be live at the start of the year. We hope that once we meet these, we can start our development timeline on these 3 modules in particular. Finally, we have SMS reminders that we're going to start sending out. What this will be is an automated call reminder that will also notify a patient through the SMS with their messaging system. Now, if we do this, we are sending text-based reminders to patients. Now, if this does occur, then what we will do is we will give the patients an opt-out ability where they can opt out of these reminders, and these reminders will also be extended to balance reminders where we will send them a text message about their balances, as well as birthday updates where we will send them a text message wishing them a happy birthday from your practice. Finally, we are also working on an incoming fax module. This will probably work with all the electronic faxes that we are integrated with, where we will get incoming faxes for these modules, as well as we will send you a update in terms of what you've been sending out to these providers as well, using the eFax of either MetroFax, eFax, and a multitude of others that we are currently in process of interfacing with. Finally, as I mentioned when I showed you the letter creation for patient recalls, we're improving the letter creation where you can now start sending letters to patients as well as providers and print them out from our system and pull up items within the chart itself to the letter. Finally, we're going to create a cash register pop-up. This will let you know, using the cash register, which patient paid, who collected the copay, and who posted the payment in our system. right from the scheduler. This will streamline your office staff's use of our scheduler and hopefully also notify who they collected their copays from at the end of the day rather than wonder whether they collected a copay or not. This is just a simple information slide, just telling all the new users that have attended this webinar. You can always contact our sales department at 732-873-5133, extension 102. And for any existing users, feel free to contact our customer support at the same number at extension 102, or send some secure support messages, and also talk to your CRM rep if you're currently in talk with them to let us know any IT issues. We also have a forum on the upper right-hand side of your welcome page, so feel free to use that forum to post forum questions that we can answer. And for obviously any serious issues or any issues that you think will be groundbreaking that you would like to discuss with me, I've also provided my contact information. You can contact me at work at 134. As most of you know, I am constantly traveling, constantly improving the EHR and looking at other systems to add improvements to the system to make it more user-friendly for all of our providers. So you can also call me on my cell phone where I'm more reachable, or text me on my cell phone with the number 848-391-7375. Also, I'm always looking forward to getting emails from the providers, and you can reach me at my first initial last name, pconda@mtbc.com, for those of you who would like to send me an email talking about suggestions. Now, as you know, the WebEHR has been running for around 2 years now, and we are constantly improving and making fixes. So please feel free to report any issues with the system. And one of the reasons I encourage us doing all my webinars is because this is a one-solution-fits-all solution for all of our providers. What this means is if you report a problem, we fix it for all the providers. Similarly, if they report a problem, we fix it for all of our providers, including you. So the more problems that we get notified of and the quicker we get notified of, the quicker we can address the issue for all of our providers rather than have it being an ongoing issue. So the more the providers complain, the more that I'll even be notified of the issue and hopefully report it to the responsible parties to get it resolved. In terms of any questions, obviously I'll be not addressing any questions today. However, if providers have any questions, feel free to contact me at my office, because I will be at my office for this week, and contact me at my cell phone whenever you feel necessary. In terms of some features that providers are looking for and they've contacted with me directly, just letting them know that all their features are currently in testing, and we will let them know as soon as possible when that feature will be released, and also switching to the WebEHR if they are waiting for that switch. Then we will go as planned, as I've talked to you already, and hopefully we will hit all the deadlines we've set out to hit. Well, thank you for attending this webinar, and I hope this has been informative for you in learning about MTBC's new changes. And please feel free to contact either me or respond to the webinar in the comments section for any questions or problems that you have, and I will be sure to address them appropriately. Thank you, and I hope you guys all have a good day. And again, contact me if there's any need that you feel that is required. Thank you.